Stephen King, James Wan, Theo James, Elijah Wood, Tatiana Maslany. Sound like a horror dream team? That's The Monkey. Directed by Osgood Perkins, this cursed tale promises to be the horror event of 2025. Why is everyone calling it a terrifying genius? And what do Psycho and The Hobbit have to do with it? Stick around. By the end, we'll also reveal the hottest horror movies hitting screens next year. The vision behind The Monkey. What's The Monkey about? A cursed toy monkey claps its cymbals and someone dies. Adapted from Stephen King's chilling short story, it follows two brothers, Hal and Bill, who find the monkey in their childhood attic. Years later, the deadly toy returns, reviving old traumas and unleashing fresh nightmares. Directed by Osgood Perkins, Longlegs, and produced by James Wan, Saw, The Conjuring. This movie mixes psychological depth with supernatural horror. And the cast? Theo James, Divergent, The Gentleman, Elijah Wood, The Hobbit, and Tatiana Maslany, She-Hulk, star in this terrifying tale. Picture Frodo and She-Hulk battling a sinister toy monkey. It's the horror mashup you didn't know you needed. With Perkins' eerie storytelling and King's iconic blend of fear and family drama, The Monkey is shaping up to be a top contender for 2025's biggest horror hit. So why is The Monkey coming to life now? Osgood Perkins is a name horror fans can't ignore anymore. Fresh off his critically acclaimed Longlegs, Perkins has cemented his place as a modern master of atmospheric, slow-burn horror. Longlegs wasn't just a success, it was a psychological gut punch that left audiences squirming in their seats. And let's not forget his family legacy. Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins, the man who made us all terrified of motel showers as Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Adapting a Stephen King story fits perfectly with his style, and his connection to psychological horror makes him the ideal director to bring this tale to life. Pair that legacy with Perkins' distinctive style, layering dread through quiet, unsettling moments, and The Monkey seems poised to redefine psychological horror. This isn't just another scary movie, it's a story with weight, depth, and a legacy of nightmares behind it. Let's not forget, King himself praised Perkins as a visionary director, which only adds to the hype. Let's talk about the source material, Stephen King. This guy doesn't just write stories, he writes legends. With over 350 million books sold worldwide, King's adaptations, It, Dr. Sleep, Pet Sematary, dominate the box office. But here's the twist. The Monkey is a lesser-known story, almost a hidden gem from his Skeleton Crew collection. Here, the plot follows two brothers who discover a cursed toy monkey among their late father's belongings. The monkey's sinister powers lead to a series of deadly events, forcing the siblings to confront their family's dark past. What makes The Monkey special? It's not just about jump scares or gore. This story digs into the fears we carry from childhood and how they echo into adulthood. A toy monkey that causes death every time it claps its cymbals. That's peak Stephen King. A simple object turned into an engine of terror. If you've ever felt uneasy about a childhood toy staring back at you in the dark, you're already halfway to the fear this story delivers. King's ability to make the mundane terrifying, like a simple toy monkey, is a testament to his genius. Combined with Perkins' atmospheric direction, this promises to be a slow-burn horror masterpiece. Let's talk about the stars bringing this story to life. Taking on the roles of the brothers Hal and Bill is Theo James. You might know him from The White Lotus and Divergent, but this role will be a departure, taking him into darker, deeper psychological territory. Playing both brothers presents an interesting acting challenge, and Theo reportedly took the role to push his boundaries. He's excited to bring a layered, complex performance that captures the emotional weight of this cursed family story. Now here's the kicker. Elijah Wood and Tatiana Maslany. This duo isn't just talented, they're perfectly cast for a movie like this. Wood, known for his unforgettable performance as Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, has always had a knack for roles that mix innocence with intensity. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, anyone? His ability to show quiet vulnerability while teetering on the edge of madness makes him an ideal lead for a psychological horror like The Monkey. And Maslany? She's a force of nature. From her Emmy-winning role in Orphan Black to her witty portrayal in She-Hulk, Maslany brings layers to every character she plays. Imagine her tackling the emotional weight of family trauma while facing off against a supernatural killer toy. This isn't just casting, it's a recipe for magic, or in this case, mayhem. Their pairing is nothing short of iconic. It's like The Hobbit meets She-Hulk in a dark, twisted nightmare, and we can't wait to see how their chemistry plays out on screen. Here's where things get truly exciting. James Wan, the producer of The Monkey, is a horror legend. From co-creating Saw to scaring us senseless with The Conjuring, Wan has a track record that screams success. He knows how to balance suspense, terror, and storytelling, making him the perfect collaborator for a project like this. But wait, there's more. Osgood Perkins isn't just along for the ride. His approach to horror is deeply psychological, focusing on the shadows in your mind rather than the ones in the room. Together, these two are a dream team, blending Wan's high-energy scares with Perkins's cerebral, slow-burn style. It's like mixing fire with ice, and the result is bound to be electrifying. And let's not overlook the production quality. With a team that respects both the source material and the audience's intelligence, The Monkey is shaping up to be not just a great horror movie, but a truly unforgettable cinematic experience. A lot of care has gone into the look and feel of The Monkey. The film is set to embrace a vintage horror aesthetic, giving it a timeless, almost dreamlike quality. Expect dimly lit rooms, chilling silences, and close-ups that highlight the characters' inner fears. Perkins wanted the film to feel as though it could take place in any era, making the cursed monkey toy seem even more disturbing. For true horror fans, this approach is a breath of fresh air. Instead of relying on CGI or heavy jump scares, Perkins is using practical effects and meticulous cinematography to build suspense. One of the most intriguing aspects is the focus on subtle psychological horror elements. Reports suggest that instead of constant action, the film builds fear through anticipation and atmosphere. Before we move ahead, here's a quick question for y'all spooky heads. Do you prefer horror movies that keep things subtle, or are you all about that classic high-octane horror experience? Let us know in the comments. At its core, The Monkey isn't just a horror movie. It dives into deeper themes of guilt, trauma, and the idea that some things from our past never really leave us. Hal and Bill's lives were marked by the ominous claps of that toy monkey, a symbol of the unresolved fears and unspoken tensions between them. The movie will explore how we deal with, or sometimes don't deal with, the skeletons in our closet. This theme resonates with many of King's works, where the horror often serves as a metaphor for personal or familial issues. In The Monkey, the cursed toy represents the psychological scars the brothers carry, scars that no amount of time or distance can erase. Perkins's approach to this film as a dark fairy tale indicates that he's looking to dig deep into the horror that lies within. Now, we all know King adaptations are always full of mystery, and fans have been buzzing with theories about how Perkins might interpret the story. One of the hottest theories circulating is that Perkins might expand the backstory of the monkey toy itself. Where did it come from? Why does it seem so fixated on this particular family? Some speculate that Perkins may link the toy's curse to a tragic past event. Maybe it was crafted by someone who met a tragic end, binding their spirit to it. Another theory suggests we might see flashbacks to Hal and Bill's childhood that add emotional depth to their trauma. By showing us how deeply the monkey affected them as kids, the film could underscore the impact of unresolved fears carried into adulthood. It's a brilliant way to add more texture to the characters and make the horror feel deeply personal. So why does The Monkey stand out? Firstly, it's got a talented director with a unique vision and a cast ready to deliver emotionally driven performances. The psychological horror aspect and Stephen King's storytelling could make this one of the year's scariest releases. Unlike typical jump scare horror films, The Monkey promises to bring a richer, more layered experience. Stephen King's stories have a way of pulling audiences into terrifying worlds that feel unnervingly real. With Perkins' skill for creating haunting atmospheres and a talented cast, this movie isn't just about a killer toy. It's about the horror of trauma, the darkness of childhood fears, and the things that refuse to stay buried. If The Monkey isn't enough, 2025 is packed with chills. Lee Whannell's Wolfman, Saw 11, Danny Boyle's 28 Years Later, and The Conjuring: Last Rites. Horror fans, it's going to be legendary. Which film has you the most hyped? Drop it in the comments and let's talk terror. See you next time, if you survive the monkey's curse.